I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
All right. Hello, ladies and germs. My name is Levi,
I'm Shane.
And I'm Angelica.
and this is West of Nowhere. And if you're like, hey, man, I feel like half of that title is a podcast I used to listen to. It still is. We did the great merge, the singularity, if you will. And here we are. We're going to be doing some stuff that's pretty similar, maybe different. I don't know, if you only listen to one, it might be slightly different, but broaden your horizons a little bit. Stop being so close-minded, you know what I'm saying? So if you're super brand new and you've never listened to either of these shows, then welcome, and don't run away, I guess. So brief description, what we're going to be doing. We're going to do some news and then some craziness that has yet to be determined. So with that in mind, my story for the week is the scandal in Texas. The Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson has at least 21 now lawsuits
Holy shit.
against him
That is
for
a good fat number.
yeah, so it started off with one masseuse who came forward and said, yeah, he's being super fucking creepy, and some sexual misconduct allegations. And it was all the way up to 16. Now I think it's up to 21, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And all like kind of varying of like, he asked me to, massage certain parts that I wasn't comfortable with. He asked me to, give him happy ending. One said that he was like, "Hey, why don't you put some oil on my anus?" That's what she said, and I was like, "Okay." It's a bold strategy in a masseuse fucking room, but all right. I mean, also, well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it weird to ask the masseuse to massage your butt cheeks? Or is
Anus,
he like,
not
oh,
like butt cheeks?
oh,
like,
he was like,
Yeah,
yeah.
butt cheeks is normal.
yeah,
A little
'cause
bit
you could
deeper
get-
in, not so normal.
Yeah, you can get get some strained glutes. That could happen, especially like you squat a lot, which I'm assuming he does because he's a football player. But anyway, one of the things said that he started off with, hey, why don't you, massage my crotchal region? And she's like, no. And he's like, how about you blow me then? I was like, holy shit, it's a hell of a jump from one thing to the next.
Right?
She said no to touching me, so let me see if she'll put it in her mouth.
Yeah.
I feel
So-
like that's an obvious jump.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore, right? Now, these are all civil suits, and there's been no criminal charges brought yet. And with that being said, there's also no evidence that's been handed over to the police either. So there's kind of this weird rumblings going on of, because it all stems from right after, this whole not free agency, but off season craziness with the Texans and Deshaun Watson, where he's like, I want to play somewhere else, and they're like, we're not going to trade you. And he said, well, I'm going to sit out, take the Le'Veon Bell route, and just not play next year and take the hit on the money. And then now, like literally 2 weeks later, all these allegations are coming out. And so a lot of the people were like, it's a little weird. It's kind of creepy that all this is happening so quinkadinkly, if that's the right way to say that.
I mean,
But-
it does feel like they were, if it is true, it feels like the team probably was suppressing a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like waiting for the right time to use it. And then now that he is giving the team a hard time, they're going to everybody if it's true, they're going to everybody who came forward the first time. They're like, hey, go ahead and sue him, make his life hard.
Yeah, because it could go either way, right? Because it could be he didn't do anything, and they're like, well, fuck this guy. We don't want to pay him all this money. fuck them. Or they could have been, a party to keeping these things under wraps for however long. And now, since he's like, fuck this place, I'm out, they're like, well, we're not going to help you anymore. So,
Yeah, I mean, it does seem kind of suspect, especially because he is like one of the star players there.
yeah.
And so they're doing probably whatever they can to just be like, look, if you'll just agree to play, we'll make all this go away.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like the team has the team like made a statement about it at all.
I haven't seen anything. Like, I've seen other players and stuff talking about it, but I haven't really seen anything following, like, from the organization. I'm assuming they're just gonna not say anything until they have to, basically. You
Yeah.
know? So one of the things I saw was Des Bryant made a comment about it. Kind of just speaking on behalf of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he said in it I thought was kind of weird, well, or not weird, but like interesting. He said a lot of powerful people truly believe they gave us our powers. They only provide a platform. True or not, Deshaun Watson is his name. So like what I kind of got from that was like kind of along the same lines of the conspiracy route, where it's like there's some fucking rich people behind this kind of organization where they're doing some things and they're trying to throw him under the bus in a weird way.
Yeah. In the same breath, like if they haven't said anything, maybe the team is actually being supportive of him.
Yeah.
But the optics do look terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's just like every day there's at least one new one that they've announced so far. Like I can't remember when the first allegation came out, but like it seems like it's been one a day on average. Jeez. Yeah, which is wild. Yeah. Yeah. And it's dumb because in this situation where there's a lot of people who are like on his side, and then there's a lot of kind of like shady things that people are saying in defense of him, like kind of like along the same lines of, well, you fucking had all this time to say it, and then now like which isn't obviously like how people handle it anymore. Like people come out whenever they want because that's they're the victims if if it's true.
Yeah, it's scary to come out and claim that something was done inappropriately to you when you're the woman or the victim, and a lot of times it takes the first person to say it for everybody else to say like, "Oh, I'm not alone in this. I feel more comfortable and I feel safer because somebody with as much power and publicity as as this person, and it's like I don't want to just speak out against them because then they can use their publicity and their power and their money to silence me and then turn it around on me and then my life gets ruined."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very it's like even more drastic in this situation because it's like a high profile kind of thing.
Yeah,
Whereas
and
like it's hard enough, for a regular situation to do it, I'm assuming, and then you put like the entire like sports, world on like visibility range,
So
yeah, the same thing happened with the New York governor.
Oh yeah.
It took one girl to speak up. She got pushed to the edge and she said something, and then all these other women were like, "It actually happened to me too." Because who's gonna want to challenge an entire state?
Yeah. Yeah, it
So-
doesn't sound fun.
Are most of the women that came forward, are they all masseuses? Or is
I
it
think
just
so.
like... So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's another thing that like kind of seems bad for him because 21 is a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there aren't cases where people come forward and like there's only like a couple like victims, but 21 looks like a pattern of fucking abuse. Like,
Yeah.
like he's so used to
Yeah.
being famous that it's fine. No one's gonna say anything, or if they do, no one's gonna believe them because he's Deshaun Watson and he's fucking
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not no matter how you slice it, it's not really a good look. So it'll be interesting to see like what kind of comes out further, with like in regards to the actual proceedings, and if they end up getting criminal charges like pressed against him. Because in an article I read, they said that he's not clear from any criminal charges. The prosecutor's office is still looking at it, and they got to. So this is a quote. A former prosecutor said, "If the prosecutor's office decided that that this guy's a serial predator and they can prove it, they're gonna go after him." So that's the kind of thing that they're waiting on, is like proof of the repetition and all these like different things. Because I mean, 21, you at some point you should be able to find something with 21 cases. I would assume.
Well, I think they're
It's
gonna be.
probably harder because it's all hearsay, because it's not like there's recordings in these masseuse rooms.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You're not allowed to have cameras in there because people get undressed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably smart enough to never text anybody, and with it being all masseuses, it's women he's never gonna see again, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Yeah.
It's not looking good though.
There's another story about a common person calling out a big power and the big power trying to shut them down.
Oh yeah.
The cinnamon toast shrimp, which has
Left
been
field.
quite a story. But
Holy shit.
yeah, a man, Jensen Karp, ironically, Karp,
Yeah.
was eating a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and went to go pour a second bowl. So he had already eaten some of this food,
Jeez.
poured a second bowl, and found what looked like shrimp tails fall out of the box. And after further inspection, he was finding other things that Twitter has helped identify him as rat droppings. He found some string. He found some
Yeah,
other
what the
like
fuck?
tiny bits of trash. So he has not updated his Twitter since March 24th. But there are tons of posts on Facebook, and you can go read his whole Twitter. But you know how Twitter gets together and solves crimes.
Yeah.
But Twitter's theory is that rats nested in the Cinnamon Toast Factory, like in a bag of flour or something. They nested in there, and the shrimp tails and the string and the other trash he found was like stuff the rats were collecting. That they got the shrimp tails maybe out of the trash from like an employee break room, and then brought it back to their nest, and then the nest got in the food and into his home. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch publicly responded to Karp saying, "Oh, that's just built up sugar. Like, you know how you might get like a whole crumb of like Dorito dust or Cheeto dust. They're like, yeah, it's just built up cinnamon sugar."
Yeah.
And
It's
Karp
been, like,
was like,
baked
just
and- yeah.
called on your bullshit. Like, no, this is fucking shrimp tails. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And there have been DNA specialists that live near Karp that are like, dude, bring it by. We'll run it. We'll run DNA sequence on it and prove to you that it's shrimp. And that was supposed to happen. I feel like we would have had an update by now, but he has not updated his Twitter since the 24th.
Yeah.
But I just think it's ridiculous that Cinnamon Toast Crunch Twitter was just like, nah, it's cinnamon sugar. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they fucked up by doing that. Like, they should not. I don't see. Here's my thing: is I don't think they should have like said anything publicly about it until they got like the envelope, from.
Yeah.
Because like they said that they'd, he could send them both of them, and he's like, I think I'm gonna send you one, so
Yeah.
that you can't make me look like a psycho. And yeah, I mean, it's fucking weird.
Well, the other side of it now is that Twitter, like there's a side of Twitter that's attacking him. So since he got all popular from this shrimp tails thing, a lot of like of his victims have come forward and said that like he's what is that? What's the word? He lies a fuck ton about like all kinds of stuff.
Liar.
Yeah, he's an habitual liar. Apparently he's shamed former sex partners. There's allegations of him like stealing a podcast idea. Like Twitter's also trying to cancel him. Like, so the people who are like on his side for the shrimp tails, there's a whole nother side of Twitter that's trying to get him canceled for just being apparently a shitty human being.
Yeah. Was he? Do we know if he was verified before or after?
Yeah, so he's a
Cinnamon
writer.
Toast Shrimp Gate?
He's a comedian.
Yeah, I knew he had a
author.
platform. I knew he had a platform before. I assumed he was verified before, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to check that, but
Explain that to me. What are you not? Do you not like have a verified Twitter when you are a person? What?
yeah, you gotta be.
No, I just
you gotta have
wanted
so
to know
many
if-
thousands of followers or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
okay.
gotta be like upwards of 20, I think.
Like, I'm a real human, but I'm not verified because I don't have a big platform.
Oh, I mean, not yet anyway. You know.
Yeah,
Working on it.
yeah.
Go ahead.
That
I
story
think
was hilarious.
based off of like the people coming at him like they are, I really think because it's possible you can buy Cinnamon Toast Crunch like the like dust or whatever. You can buy that, and I think it's completely possible that he just took shrimp tails and like got them wet and then shook them in fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch like the dust, and then was like, "Yo, look at
And
what I
baked 'em.
found." I mean,
Because it was like baked on too.
it just.
But
I
yeah.
mean, to me in the
It
picture,
is
could've been-
it just
possible.
if I'm playing devil's advocate, it could have been Sharpied on.
Sharpied on.
The black marks that were cooked into the squares.
Oh,
Oh, you're
okay.
talking about the rat poop?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Like, because
looking
there
at a
was like
picture
black
right here,
marks
and
on the
it's-
squares.
Yeah, it's not a Sharpie on this picture anyway.
Yeah, I'm just playing devil's
could have
advocate.
been, but
I don't think it's faked. The only thing that seemed like a little bit sus to me was he got like the family box from Costco, so there's 2 smaller bags inside the box. He said the second bag also had like packing tape on the bottom of it. Like it had been tampered with and somebody just like packing taped it back up.
yeah.
Well, see,
But the bag that he found all the crap in was sealed, like factory sealed.
I don't know. Like I said, like before, like he started to get canceled, it seemed like maybe he was telling the truth because like why would you have to lie? But then there's so many people who came out, like I said, and just talked about like how shitty he is and how he'll do anything to like get
Well,
famous.
here's the thing though, is I don't know how deep you guys got on in that thread, but
Okay.
there's there was people talking about the I guess the what would it be considered, like the like you can have certain amounts of like bug fucking parts and like certain things, like
Yeah.
there's an allowance for
FDA,
those.
yeah.
Yeah, so they don't put that in there for funsies. Like this happens. Like it has to. Like I don't know how the shrimp got in there specifically, but like it's not,
Dude, someone was
impossible either
standing.
way.
Someone was standing in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch assembly line, eating a shrimp cocktail.
Fucking classy, broad.
Somebody was like, "Hey, Rick," and they turned and like just dropped 2, and then they didn't see where they went, and he was like, "Ah, it'll be all right," and just kept on doing his job.
Fucking Rick. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the pieces that have the cooked stuff in it, and it looks like rat poop
Yeah.
pressed into the squares.
Walked.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I
That'd be
think
disgusting.
he like legit needs to get it like if he's serious about like wanting to come at Cinnamon Toast Crunch for it. Or who makes that cereal? Isn't it something Maze or whatever?
General Mills.
General Mills. There we go. If he wants to come at them, he needs to go for real, get it tested.
Well,
Yeah.
then, I mean, half of me's kind of wondering if that's why he hasn't been posting about it, because if it's processed further into like an actual like
Lawsuit?
situation, they
Yeah.
can't really just be like, I'm gonna fucking tweet about it now.
Yeah.
I mean,
The last thing he said on the 24th was, "No real update. I'm not posting about this BS all day again. Waiting for the envelope I agreed on from General Mills to send them back the one piece, and some of the shrimp tail will leave home for DNA testing at noon. They grow up so fast."
and he's married to Topanga.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
living
Yeah.
the fucking dream. Yeah. Rough life.
And so a man named Carp married to a woman named Fischel found shrimp tails in a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The cereal was purchased from the Costco on Topanga Canyon Boulevard, and his wife played Topanga in Boy Meets World. Meanwhile, Carp used to be a guest on the Pistol Shrimp podcast.
What the fuck? That's so weird.
All true.
Well, now I'm a little sussed out on this. I don't know.
Um,
Damn it.
Well, speaking of like weird things that are going on in the country, Pepsi is coming at you with a brand new flavor, and I don't really drink soda that much, so I'll let you guys try it,
Not
and
gonna.
you can let me know how great it is.
Nope.
But
Nope.
Pepsi is releasing a Pepsi and Peeps flavored drink. I don't if just to reiterate,
Not
Peeps
good.
are those like chick shaped marshmallows. And I don't like Peeps in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not
So
a
like so like liquid
they're
Peeps just
fucking
sounds god awful.
disgusting. My dad fucking hates Peeps so much, and I remember like as a kid, like Easter would come around and they'd start putting out Peeps. I'm like, hey, maybe get some Peeps, and he's like, no, God, no, we're not getting Peeps. And so
Fuck
when you
no.
sent me this article, I was like, oh, do I have the perfect customer for this? And so I sent it to him, and he just sent me the angry devil emoji. I was like, all right, well.
I don't mind Peeps, but I can only deal with like maybe one or two if I'm like,
Yeah, you
this is
can't
just
like eat a
sugar.
whole pack because that's just so much. Like,
No.
uh,
I
yeah.
might like if I can buy like just one can, I'm not gonna waste money on like a whole 12 pack, like
Yeah.
a whole case. No.
No,
If I could just try it, like if somebody else has it, like, hey, let me take a sip of that. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend my money on that.
I want to know what self-respecting person's gonna buy this, and it's a little guy too. It's a 7.5 ounce can.
Yeah, okay.
So I mean, I bet it's disgusting. But I mean, God, Pepsi's already fucking super sugary too. So
Mm-hmm.
is it gonna change
And
it that much? I have no idea.
I'm on Team Coke, not Team Pepsi, so.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't define myself by one pop label. I think everybody should be able to have different favorite
I
pops. So.
I identify as soda fluid, so
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a soda. So
Have y'all seen the Coke plus coffee drinks?
I've
Like-
seen
like-
them. I haven't had them yet.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound good.
yeah.
No,
and
they're not
like,
good.
why would you want to mix coffee and pop together? Like I don't
So
get it.
why not just super caffeinate a regular like a regular Coke and just call it like
do cocaine. Like
yeah, there we go. Just cut out the middleman.
just put
Just go back to the
cocaine back
roots
in-
of Coca-Cola.
Just put cocaine back in it and stop
Yes.
playing around.
Duh.
That's terrible.
Well, in other news, in case you haven't watched the TV at all, there is a fucking massive ship stuck in the Suez Canal.
Yep.
You know the first thing I thought about when
What?
I saw that?
What?
They can't poop. Like they can't flush their toilets.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and they're still stuck.
So, in case you guys have never been on a boat, they're going through the Suez Canal. You cannot use the restroom. Well, you can. You just can't flush your toilets the entire time you're in the Suez Canal.
Yup.
Can you explain why?
Because
Actually, I don't actually know the reason. There's
Exactly.
nowhere for it to go. Like the canal. What they do is they put you in. They move the water up and keep pushing you across into sections and fill the water up to move you across or move you like either way you're going. So it's a finite amount of water, and you
yeah.
can't dump anything in that water.
Okay. I just knew it was very narrow and very shallow.
Yeah.
yeah, well that
And-
too.
okay.
But yeah, because it's like I don't know if it's a completely closed circuit, but it's pretty like finite. So you can't really add shit to it, and also literally like add shit to it because
Yeah. Probably because
they
it's
want
so
it clean.
Yeah, so low volume.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to dump anything in the ocean within so many like nautical miles of like land.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, did they evacuate the boat and they're just like hanging out? Like,
Nah,
I
I bet they're
know they
still on
talked
there.
about. I know
Well,
they
they-
talked about having to remove shipping containers and
Yeah.
just try to make the boat as light as possible.
yeah.
Well, as of today, there are 13 tugs still trying to
just
pull the ship
working.
called the Ever Given.
Mhm.
And just so you know, the Ever Given is a 200,000 metric ton, nearly a quarter mile long.
It is as long as the Empire State Building is tall.
It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
Man.
The
It's
memes,
about
though, have been fantastic.
Yeah, the memes are great. Have we figured out who the captain is? Do we know?
I can
What
look it up.
country is it from?
Japan.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Or it's owned by Japan. I mean, it could be. Yeah.
I know it is costing the global economy $400 million an hour
Because of reroutes and shit.
because of reroutes and, delays. It's costing the global economy $400 million an hour.
That's so
And this
crazy.
will take, they're estimating this can take weeks to get this boat unstuck.
Holy shit.
So it doesn't have the captain listed, but it does have the owner, the Japanese owner, and Shui Kinson.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
I couldn't pronounce that either.
But it's messing up. It's messing up world trade like a lot
Yeah.
because if you don't go through the Suez Canal, you have to sail around the Horn of Africa, which is at the
Africa, yeah.
very bottom.
And I think that's an extra 14 hours, I think is what I read.
I mean, it can take longer than that.
It can-
Depends
yeah.
on what
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of ship you got, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, it could be
Yeah, it
days,
was-
weeks, fucking
It was
years.
lodged due to high winds, not due to any kind of mechanical failure on the boat.
Oh, so like the winds caught the fucking broadside of it and kind of just.
And then it just got
was-
stuck.
What that tells me is the speed limit on the Suez Canal is not good. Like they're.
I just love that someone. I just love that someone tracked the tracking of the boat, and it ended up drawing a dick. And how that
Yeah.
hasn't had more steam blows my mind.
So many nautical jokes.
Yeah, I don't know how traffic works in the ocean world, in the boat world, but in aviation, if you want to land at an airport and it's busy, air traffic control will tell you to hold pattern before you can get into a landing pattern. And normally, a plane you just fly in circles.
Yeah.
And you just kill time until ATC says you're good to land. So I'm assuming something similar happens with the traffic control that's routing boats through the Suez Canal because it's so narrow. I'm sure only one can go at a time. So they probably got put in a holding pattern and they were just doing circles and accidentally drew a dick or drew a dick on purpose. I don't know.
Well, if you like
But they
look
drew that and they got stuck.
like towards like the middle of the Suez Canal, there's a bigger body of water
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
kind of between, the actual canal, like one side of the canal and the other side, and I'm assuming that's where that took place because I don't know where else it would have been, but that's hilarious nonetheless.
I would like to point out that it's super funny that Angelica felt the need to woman-splain what a pattern was to a couple of aircraft mechanics.
Yeah, I didn't want to address it, but you know what? I'm
You two are
offended.
not the only two people I'm talking to.
You are only talking to us right now.
We have an audience.
Not right now.
That
We're recording,
which
right
is
now.
why I asked Shane to explain why you cannot flush heads on a boat when you're
Listen,
in the Suez Canal.
we are yoking, so calm
I
down.
will fight both of you.
You will do no such thing. Why don't you tell the people what your story is and stop being angry?
Yeah.
My stories are sad.
Yeah, I
Well,
know,
that's
why I
all
want you to
All
Make
want you to
everybody
calm
sad.
down a little bit. So,
right, so
Mhm.
on March 16th and on March 22nd, the country experienced two different shootings. And March 16th, there was a shooting in Atlanta at a grocery store. And on March 22nd, there was a mass shooting at, I'm sorry, I misspoke. On March 16th, there was a shooting in Atlanta that occurred over 3 different massage parlors. And on March 22nd, a mass shooting occurred at a supermarket in Boulder, Colorado.
Fucking massage parlors again. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You're forgetting.
So
You're forgetting one more.
And the one
There
that
was
just
a-
happened.
Yeah, the one that just happened. What? 2 days ago. now?
Remember, you were almost there.
Yeah, the one that happened yesterday.
Virginia
yesterday
Beach.
morning. Yep.
Yeah. Here at home in Virginia Beach on Friday night. So the one March 16th in Atlanta, a series of mass shootings occurred at 3 spas, massage parlors. 8 people were killed, 6 of whom were of Asian women, and 1 other person was wounded. A 21-year-old male suspect was taken into custody the same day. According to the police, the gunman said he was motivated by a sexual addiction that was at odds with his religious beliefs. He had previously spent time in a Christian or an evangelical treatment clinic for sex addiction. After the shootings, the gunman was charged with 4 counts of murder and 1 count of aggravated assault. Um,
He
and
killed
then
6 people, only gets 4? I'm so confused. Fucking
So, even though the shooter has not been charged with hate crime as part of the ongoing investigation, some commentators have characterized the shootings as a hate crime, noting the backdrop of the rising anti-Asian racism that we've been experiencing in the U.S. during the pandemic.
yeah.
Wait,
Um,
Yeah, you didn't know
there's
that?
there's been a rise in anti-Asian
Yeah.
stuff?
I
Really?
didn't know about it until Tinder warned me, and they're like, "Stop hating Asian people," and I was like, "I don't." And I was like, "Good." And I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
And then I
Yeah,
I
just
googled it, and there's been like a big uptick in like Asian hate crimes since.
it's because the pandemic originated from China,
Yeah, people are
and
racist.
Oh.
Yeah.
COVID has been called the China virus. It's been called
Wonder who called
um,
it that. That's so crazy.
yep.
Weird.
Certain past political leaders have called it very racial things. China virus. There was another.
Dude,
I can't remember the other one.
there was a whole bunch of them.
The
The Asian
Wuhan
flu.
flu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not funny. All right.
and
The only Wu you should
yeah.
like is the Wu Tang. You know what I'm saying?
hell yeah. So then details on the Boulder, Colorado shooting, March 22nd, 10 people were killed, including a local on-duty police officer, employees of the supermarket, and shoppers. The alleged shooter, also a 21-year-old male, was wounded in the leg by police and briefly hospitalized before moving to the county jail. The gunman's older brother said that he has a history of paranoid, disturbed, and antisocial behavior that developed after being bullied in high school. His brother stated that he was concerned about his mental health that developed after the bullying. The gunman expressed on his now deleted Facebook page and to his former high school wrestling teammates that he believed he was being targeted for harassment due to racism and Islamophobia.
Yeah, because
And
he was from Syria, right?
yeah, he was born in Syria. And he got his his uh
Citizenship.
thank you, that word. And his family moved to America.
Yeah.
But according to the site intelligence group, there was no indication on his Facebook account that suggested radical views of any kind.
Yeah, I like somebody posted something about it, and they're like, something to the effect of Americans kill so many Syrians every year, and
Oh,
that's totally
wow.
cool. But then, like, one Syrian kills people in Boulder, and they're like, "Take away our guns." And it was like something stupid like that, and I was like, "Okay, well, let's fucking unpack this." And I looked it
Right.
up, and he came to the United States in 2003. Or no, he was 3 when he came to the United States. I think it was in '99. I can't remember. I can't remember anything.
Yeah, so also with the Boulder shooting, he purchased the gun on March 16th legally through a store, passed the background check, and was able to legally purchase the gun a couple of days before he did this.
Oh, that's good. It's not good for anybody.
Yeah,
Wonk.
he
Well, I
jumped
don't.
through all the hoops and did everything correctly, and the fact that it was a couple days before might indicate that it was premeditated, but
Yeah.
Well, so I don't think those background checks, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they run. There's nothing connected to your like mental history, is there?
no.
So there's no.
It's
So
just
like
your
the people selling those guns, like that's
They're
those.
just looking at criminal charges. And
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Like when you hear a lot of these stories with people who are like there's like something wrong with them mentally, they keep talking about how we need to fix the background checks, and people are like, don't take my guns away. If they would just add in a way to like, you should be tagged, right? Like you should have something that runs through that on your gun registry that says you have a history of mental illness, and then that should be a flag.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's one of the arguing points about gun control is don't control the guns. We just need to work on our America's mental health.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to focus the news story on the gunman, but you know, this happened because he was bullied and his mental health was affected, and he snapped.
Yeah.
And
And would you say the other guy happened?
the Atlanta shooting, claimed that he had a sex addiction and that the massage parlors were a threat, to his addiction. They were
To
they were
like
tempting
seduce
him.
him, basically.
They were tempting him, and he
Yeah.
snapped.
What a fucking.
There
lunacy.
was evidence of Asian hate on the Atlanta shooters' Facebook and social media, so
Bro.
possibly linked to racism. But his claim,
It probably worked twofold, where it was like, that's why he targeted them specifically. It's like those fucking Asians. They're always trying to seduce me and tempt my fucking good Christian values. And then he was like, fucking Asians, and then he shot him. I'm assuming. I mean, that might not be a direct quote. But I saw in the thing, there's a Wikipedia article about the Asian, or the Atlanta shooting, rather. And according to police, his parents had kicked him out of the house the night before the shooting due to concerns about his sex addiction, and said he was watching internet pornography for several hours each day. That's not good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not denying that his MO about sex addiction is false.
I wasn't either. I just thought that was interesting. I'm not,
Yeah.
If I could calm down. I'm just sad to the story.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah, several hours each day is a wild thing to do. Like, I get bored when I'm watching several hours of like shows I like, and I'm like, okay, I should probably do something else. And this guy's like,
dude, I get bored after 5 minutes of porn
right?
for obvious reasons, you know.
Yeah, well, lose interest rather rapidly. It's so crazy. Crazy how nature do that. Yeah, that's not good. No bueno.
Yeah.
The thing that touched my heart a little bit with the Boulder, Colorado shooting is that in one of the mountains that overlooks Boulder, they have this giant star that they only light up during the holidays, but they did light it for 10 days as a vigil for the 10 victims, which I thought was really sweet.
At the picture or the link you sent of the vigils photos.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty
yeah, it was really sweet.
I don't know, it's just so like wild to see. That star's fucking huge.
The Flagstaff Mountain above Boulder. Yeah, they lit it for 10 days.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that we've brought you so far down, we're gonna pick you up.
Pick you back up
with some trivia that may or may not be funny or fun. Me and Levi don't know. Angelica never tells us.
Yep.
No.
We live in the
It's on a secret document that the boys cannot see.
I have never ever cheated. I was just on it.
Sounds made up. Sounds like something a cheater would say.
So, what today's game is going to entail is you two are actually going to work together.
Oh,
this is we suck at that, so this is gonna be great.
You guys are going to work together. So I have a list of 6 new dating terms.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I'm just going to give you the word, and you guys are going to work together and try and guess what it means.
I'm so excited. Okay.
All right.
So, so we all know what ghosting is, right?
Right.
Too well.
Okay, so ghosting, just in case our audience doesn't know what that means, is you meet somebody and you guys are texting, hanging out, and then just all of a sudden they just leave you on red, stop replying to your texts, just out of nowhere. No explanation, no, hey, I had fun, but I met somebody, or this isn't working out, I don't feel like chemistry. No explanation. They just disappear.
Rude.
Super rude.
Like a ghost.
Like a ghosty.
Yep, like a ghost. Just all right. So there's some new modern terms, and you guys get to figure them out.
Okay.
So the first one is called benching.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh.
So y'all talk it out. What do you think it means?
Dude, I got this. So it's like meeting a girl, and then you just like sideline her, like you still talk to her enough to keep her like interested, but you're really like actively pursuing someone else. It's like a second option, like a back burner type deal.
Like you have this main girl that you're like focused on, and then like you're like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and bench this girl next. So just in case the main girl ghosts me,
I could put you in, coach.
Put you in, you batter up.
Yep. Benching refers to the act of keeping a potential love interest on the bench by texting them, liking their social media posts, but never actually meeting up.
Oh, okay. Well, so we were kind of
Yeah. So you're just texting and you're keeping them
Without
like just
meaning it.
enough,
Yeah.
interest. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like, hey,
without
don't forget
meaning
about
it.
me. I might need you later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I feel like that happens to me a lot.
All right. So going off of the term ghosting, what do you guys think haunting means?
Whoa.
Oh, I know what
It's
that. I
gotta
got you.
be fucking fighting back. We you just no. That's harassment.
No,
Never
so
mind.
no, it's I think it's like you ghost someone and then the person that got ghosted just won't stop messaging you.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like they just keep
Okay.
on and keep on as like an
Yeah.
annoying, like
Like,
harassing
how
So you
type
dare
think
thing.
you ghost
haunting-
me? Woo.
So you think haunting is a response to getting ghosted?
I think so.
I mean, it sounds right.
Sounds like because well, I guess not. Because you're the ghost if you leave. But yeah, it has to be.
Or it's returning like after a
Ooh,
long
there we go.
time.
Yeah, like 2 a.m. 6 months later, like, yo,
What
girl,
you
what's
doing?
up?
Levi's getting a little closer.
Okay. All
right. So haunting is what you call it when someone ghosts you. So you've been ghosted,
All right.
Okay.
but keeps watching your Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, follows you on social media.
And then send
So
you
they-
a shrub of some kind.
They no. So they've ghosted you, but they still watch your stories. So when you check your views, his name still pops up. And you're like, you ghosted me. You won't reply to my text. You won't respond to anything, but you're still looking at my stories. Why are you
That's-
haunting me?
That's even worse than just ghosting. Like that's a
Yeah.
super dick move.
It's like, if you don't want to talk to me, why are you still looking at my socials? Like,
Yeah,
stop.
leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think orbiting means?
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, so I bet that's more of like when you're at a bar, right? And like
He's fucking walking around.
you
this
notice
girl.
a girl, so you just keep like trying to stay in her view so that she'll see you, or he'll see you, whatever you're into. So you
Yeah.
just keep like kind of like moving around the room, just like within eye shot. So you're like, oh hey, they see me. What's up?
I just
Yeah.
got this like image of like you walking by with like a drink really close to your like mouth, but like a straw, and then you just like
You're just staring the whole time, like
maintaining eye contact, as
Just, like,
you fucking
making
walk
sure.
around the room.
I'm always watching you.
Yeah. Was that
So
right?
orbiting, no, orbiting
Oh.
is still online behavior.
damn.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
So it's kind of the opposite of haunting. So it's when a potential love interest follows you on social media, interacts with your posts, maybe reacts on Facebook, responds to a story, like reacts to an
Yeah.
Instagram story, but they won't actually text you. So the difference in orbiting is haunting is you've already had communication with this person and they've ghosted you.
Right.
Okay.
Orbiting is you haven't even started texting.
Oh, but they're like, oh, that's a cute picture. Still not gonna talk
Mhm.
to you. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like they might be they follow you on Instagram and you look at their profile like, oh, they're cute, and you DM them, but they won't respond.
okay.
But they keep liking your posts and reacting to your stories, but they will never reply to your DMs. They're like, why are they orbiting? This one's fun. What
Okay.
is kitten fishing?
Whoa. I
Kitten
feel like I knew this one.
What is
At some
kitten
point.
fishing?
I know that
Sounds
it's not,
familiar.
but it sounds like you're a pedophile.
Yeah, it
Going
definitely
after
sounds
kids.
pedophilic, but,
No.
it's like catfishing but different. Like it's
Yep, you're onto something.
kitten fishing.
Maybe you use pictures of like your kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like catfishing, but because you said it's adjacent, so I was thinking maybe it's like my son could be 18, right? And I'm like, yo, my son could pull girls. I'll use his picture and talk to them.
That's wrong.
Yeah,
I know
don't-
it's-
That is
I'm not-
that
I'm
is
not-
so wrong. That is not the answer, and that is
Okay.
so wrong.
I have a guess. I'm
All right.
thinking that maybe now hear me out. Maybe
All right.
it's like when you post a picture on your dating profiles where there's like 15 people,
Yeah.
and then they're like, I don't know which one this is. So
Oh, that's
it's the
like-
hopes of people like swiping on you because they don't
In
know
my
which one you are.
experience, when they're group photos, they're normally the ugliest one.
Right? Yeah. I mean that's how it is.
So kitten fishing is similar to catfishing because like catfishing is You doll up your pictures, you use filters.
Or pretend to
Or
be a
old-
completely different person.
Yes, completely different person.
I watched the
You're
show.
stealing photos. Very true. So kitten fishing is the same that you're being fake, but it's about your personality, not your looks.
Oh.
So you might see this cute girl on Tinder that's like really into yoga and really into cats, but you have no interest in yoga and you're just a total dog person.
Yeah.
But she's really cute. So when y'all match, you pretend to be into everything she's in just to get her attention.
Oh, I thought that was called dating.
Yeah, I've never done that before. Splits.
Somebody faking their
I'm
personality.
just kidding. I love cats.
I definitely love Grey's Anatomy. What are you talking about? We can binge it for sure.
It's the best show. Totally won't fall asleep during it.
You know, or like, you know, she might say, I hate guys that fish, but that's like your favorite hobby. Then you just act like, oh, I never fish. Like, what? No.
Or you're like, I love hiking. And she's like, fucking me too. And then like halfway through, like just walking, she's like, this is a lot. Why do we leave? Why do we leave outside?
I'd rather just be at home playing video games.
All right.
All right, so we got 2 more.
Okay.
Paper clipping.
Whoa.
Dude, that doesn't even make sense to me.
I don't even know. Paper.
So
okay.
So I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Remember back in the old Microsoft Word days, the
Where you
little
had Clippy?
mascot Clippy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's where the name comes from.
Oh, you just like to give unwanted advice all the time?
No.
You're really annoying and can't go away. Like, no matter how many times it press the X button.
So when an ex paper clips you, they pop back up in your life for no particular reason.
Oh.
They don't want to date. They don't want to meet up. They don't even want to hook up. They just want to remind you that they're still in existence for an ego boost.
This sounds real similar to benching. Like, real similar.
Yeah, it's like the opposite.
Except for
'Cause
you've
it's an
dated.
ex, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ex. They're not interested in getting with you in any way. It's just an ego boost, and they just pop back in like, hey, what up?
Yeah.
I've had paper
oh,
clips before.
Yeah, I know a couple people like that.
Not fun. All right, so our last one is what does it mean when you get Fauci'd?
What?
Like Dr. Fauci, what happens when you get Fauci'd?
Oh my.
No idea.
What? He tells you about some venereal disease he gave you? I don't know.
No.
So good
Hey,
guess.
just so you know, I gave you herpes. Here's a pamphlet so you know like how bad it is. Good luck.
Oh my god.
I have
so
no
it's
idea what this could possibly be.
it's COVID relating.
Oh.
Okay.
Obviously, it's Dr. Fauci's. I mean, he's the president's doctor, but with COVID happening. So to get Fauci'd, it means you are not going to date somebody because they are not taking the pandemic seriously enough.
Oh. Yeah, that's
like
a new one.
You might Fauci somebody because they think that the pandemic is a hoax, the pandemic is fake, or you Fauci'd her because she has a picture on her Instagram in a mosh pit with no masks or anything.
How dare
Or her
you?
Snap story is
Living
nothing
reckless.
but parties, traveling the world at parties, and you're like, they're immature for not taking the pandemic seriously. So I'm going to Fauci them, and that's the only reason I'm not going to date them.
That's wild.
Yeah. So for all of our dating folks in our audience,
Now
I
you
hope
know.
can
You
use-
done been
yeah.
learned.
You done been learned.
Yeah.
So don't bench people. That's mean.
Yeah.
And just,
What's like the least aggressive one out of this whole list? Like,
I think
Yeah.
Fauci being Fauci is pretty safe.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's like the safest one. But I mean, passive aggressively. I feel like orbiting's kind of weird.
Orbiting is safe. Maybe it's just they're really shy.
Could be.
And so it's like, I'm going to like your stuff, but I'm scared to talk to you because,
Haunting's
know.
just rude. Like, man.
yeah, I'm going to ghost you, but I'm going to keep checking in from afar.
Yeah, send you a plant or two.
There we go.
No plants.
Hell
Don't
yeah.
send people
Oh,
plants.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if they want one, then maybe get them a plant. But if they
Yeah.
don't, from you especially, shoo, don't send one.
All right. Well, we forgot to do something at the beginning of the show, so I'm going to hit it right here for us. We want to thank Adam Pacino, Tony Burgess, Miles Glenn, Sam Norton, None Your Business, Colby Jordan, Jade Marsh, Angelica Juicino, and Natalie Tacarante.
And technically still Kylie, Mark, Colton, and
Tom.
no, he
No.
fucking jumped ship.
Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve's still there.
Yeah.
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 I miss Uncle Steve.
What's the new link for the Patreon?
The Patreon is patreon.com/west of nowhere.
Yes. So, yeah.
And
if
we
you
will
like-
have a link tree up soon
Ooh,
to make everything simple, and you can find everything that you need for us.
hell yeah.
Hell
We'll do all the things.
We will share that with y'all next week.
Yep. We're gonna have so many links and so many trees, so many virtual trees. And so little haunting going on. You know what I'm saying?
No more haunting.
God, I don't even know what to do with myself. I don't have like another show to plug or nothing. This is weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, is that? I feel like that's it.
That's
Yep.
enough. Yeah, you've
All
had enough.
right. That's enough. I've had enough. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Tip your bartender.
Later, dudes. Man, I wanted to say later, losers.